Ever wondered what's really behind the headlines? Or why certain theories just won't go away? Dive into the world of the No Name Podcast, your go-to podcast for unraveling the mysteries of conspiracies, politics, and everyday life. Each week, we blend our opinions, analysis, with some storytelling to uncover the hidden layers of our world. From the latest political intrigue to the most fascinating conspiracy theories, we bring you a balanced dose of skepticism and insight. Whether you're a seasoned critical thinker or just curious about the whispers that swirl around us, we offer a space where your questions are welcome and your mind can wander free. Tune in, spark your curiosity, and let's embark on this journey of discovery together. The No Name Podcast, where every episode is a new chance to think critically and see the world through a different lens. Don't miss out. Like, share, and subscribe today and join the conversation.
Hey, this is Jeremy coming to you from the No Name Podcast. What's up, everybody? It's Dustin.
Hey, it's your boy, Trey.
And today we have our friend, our soon-to-be friend, Flat Earth Dave.
Yeah, welcome.
Are you there, Dave?
Yeah, I'm here. You hear me okay? You guys got a little quiet, but that we're good.
All right, cool. Yeah, we are excited to have Flat Earth Dave with us and just kind of pick his brain a little bit about Flat Earth and some of the other stuff that he seems passionate about. I've been a long-term listener, first-time caller here, so
nice. Now,
Yeah,
are you guys all flat earthers, ball skeptics, globers? What's going on here?
I don't really have a stance on it. I mean, honestly, I've never educated myself on it enough to really understand it or learn anything
Good
about
answer.
it.
Good answer.
I mean, you're going to be teaching me.
Well, I'm going to be.
All I've been taught is what I've been programmed my entire life. So
yeah, I'm going to be showing you some things that make you think, and then it's up to you to decide whether they're true or not.
it's absolutely, and that's what we do here on our show all the time.
yeah, we try to foster critical thinking. So that's kind of
It's a rare
I'm
thing.
from the mindset of if I haven't seen it for myself, I don't know that I believe it. So
Yeah, that's a good.
so I don't. I'm not a round earther. I'm not a flat earther. I'm just what do we got to deal with, earthers?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how about you, Trey? You want to chime in?
Now, can you hear me, Dave? I know I got to mute on here. Can you hear me?
I
pretty
can.
good?
I hear you. We got a little audio wobbly, but it's not too bad.
Okay. So, what I am is I am a in-betweener. At one time, I was sold on a flat Earth.
Oh,
And now I'm kind of more of a dome theory person.
well,
So
you're not.
I'm like,
You're not
I
on a
just
globe.
more- for me
You're not on-
personally,
Yeah, you're not on a globe, right?
not on the globe.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that's it.
I
So when I
just-
say
I-
flat,
yeah,
Earth, flat earther isn't it's saying that the Earth isn't flat because it's got topographical.
Right.
But down is down for everybody. It's in the same direction. So once you
Mhm.
understand that, then when you're off the ball, you can call yourself whatever you want. It's I should be not ball Dave, but I'm flat Earth Dave. It's the same thing.
Right. And I think so. Like I saw some of your IGs and the conversations that you have with some folks, and I just think the passion behind people who've never been into space, to me is one thing that I'm just kind of curious about. Why do you think people get so animated and angry of sorts at you for believing
Yeah.
what you believe?
It's because we've been programmed to believe we live on this spinning ball and space is real and aliens are coming from outer space. And our whole life is built around that. And then when somebody takes away that programming that happened literally the earliest years of your life, even before you can talk, you were brainwashed into believing in a globe. And when you finally go to school, there's a globe in the front of the class, and every movie, every cartoon, every show, there's globes everywhere, and it's all heliocentrism. And when somebody tries to take that foundation away, it gets upsetting to some people, and people don't realize how programmed they are. Everyone has their programming. That's why they act like they act, and they really don't know their true self because they're reacting to things that they were programmed. I guess I'm going to use that word a lot, programmed. And they don't even realize that they're programmed. And the idea is to break the programming. It's like the movie The Matrix. You got to unplug from the programming to see the reality of this world. And a lot of people just don't want to do that. The woman in the red dress, with Neo, he that's where he points out, when Morpheus points out to him, that some people aren't ready to be unplugged. Some people just don't. We call them NPCs. It's kind of a negative term, but it's really not. It's just who they are. And there's people that you cannot wake up, and you need to just identify them quickly and get the hell away from them.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's what I've been saying for a long time too. I think a lot of us are quote unquote asleep. When we are asleep, there's certain things that we don't remember, or things that we, like me, there are certain things that I've started to remember and started to wake up. And like you were saying, I've just been programmed I think we've all been programmed our entire life. And then they focus it in mostly when you are a child, because that's when your mind is so susceptible to being programmed and being taught the way that they want you to think. My question for it behind it is why do they want you to believe that? Why do they want you to believe that the world is round?
Great question. It's all about control. It's controlling the human race. And, if you believe you live on a ball, you live in a world of lack, a world of danger, a world of asteroids crashing into us, a world that's overpopulated. You live, you're insignificant. You're a speck flying through an infinite expanding universe. You know that in the heliocentric world, you have certain things you have to believe. First, you have to believe you're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour at the equator, which is crazy. It's faster than the speed of sound, and a curved trajectory, not a straight line, a curved line, right? You're orbiting the sun in a space vacuum. So let's break that down. 66,600 miles an hour. And you're in a space vacuum. So a vacuum, a void of any pressure. And if you know anything about gas, gas laws, gas needs to be contained. You open up a soda can, it goes instantly equalizes to the room around it, right? You put a closed container in a vacuum, it explodes, right? Because the air violently fills the available space. So you're on a lumpy rock surrounded by water that is smooth and curved, but no one's ever been able to measure the curve. And it's spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, and it's orbiting at 66,000 miles an hour. And it's also chasing the sun at 500,000 miles an hour, right? And Trey's laughing because it's so stupid that when you actually think about it, you're like, who the frick would ever believe that? Imagine this, right? Look at all your senses. Close your eyes, right? Are you spinning? Are you whirling? Are you twirling? Are you stationary, right? And every sense you have tells you you're stationary. But nonsense, not common sense, nonsense from men tells you the other. And so imagine this. Let's say we all were just born today and no one has told us anything. We're here. We know how to talk. We're figuring this out. Like, what is this place? And nobody would ever think that we're on a ball spinning and whirling and twirling, corkscrewing through space, right? We would be like, well, we're not moving. I don't know what it is, but we're not moving. That's clear. And, you look at a standing body of water, a nice calm lake on an early morning. It's perfectly still and it's level. It's flat. You can measure it. But then later in life, somebody comes to us and goes, hey, by the way, the earth isn't flat. It's not stationary. It's spinning, it's whirling, it's twirling, and it's moving in 4 different directions at once at speeds that you can't even fathom. You would tell a person to get the F out of here. There's no way you'd ever believe them. But society's upside down. This is what they teach us. The vast majority believe it, and consensus doesn't make it true. If 99% of the world thinks that unicorn farts taste like chocolate, doesn't mean that they taste like chocolate, right? but it doesn't matter. Consensus is not. Yeah, I just made that up on the spot, by the way. I never said that before. I never even thought that before.
So we were listening to one of the interviews you did with what was that, Professor Dave?
See, now I knew you were going to say that.
That was so frustrating.
Yeah, but see, it's good. It's good. That was I went into that.
It was good.
Very naively. I went into that naively, thinking that guy wanted to. I was kind of like, oh, he just doesn't know. And I was so stupid back then, so stupid. And he's just a paid shell. He makes a video. It's number 1 on YouTube instantly. And it's pushed by the algorithm because he is an anti-flat earth troll. And he doesn't have any good arguments. And he calls himself a professor. He's really failed musician, Dave, who dropped out. Right. And he just makes up stuff. But YouTube pushes that because they think it was such a disaster for flat Earth. But it's people like you and others that will reach out to me and go, "Yeah, I saw your interview. That I'm a glober, but why did that professor act like that?" Well, now we've got communication, right? And I could say, "Here, this is why." And I send you my playlist. It's called the Crash Course Playlist. I say, "Here, just watch the first couple of videos in this playlist, and then tell me what you think." And those videos, you'll never find those by yourself. Google will never show you those videos. They're there, but they won't feed them to you, even if you search for them by name, right? So then I send those out, and a couple of days later, I get an email back going, "Holy crap, this is real? What?" And then Professor Dave, or phony fake failed musician Dave, he has woken up more people to flat Earth than most flat earthers. So God bless him.
Yeah, I mean, it was just frustrating to watch just with the way that he was acting. I'm like, dude, I couldn't even pay attention. I was like, man, this is so annoying.
Out of that, the Globe Trolls, they take a quote out of there, and they're always like trolling me with it. Like, spectroscopy needs a container, right? Spectroscopy, for those of you that don't know, is when you look through some sort of instrument to see what gases that you can see. And most of it's complete and total bullshit. They look up at a star and they go, "Well, that star is made out of hydrogen and helium and xenon and whatever," right? It's all bullshit, right? We have a challenge for them, saying, if I had a garbage can filled with a whatever gas, and I was a mile down the road, and you have your spectroscope, if that's what it's called, and I opened up the garbage can, I bet you couldn't tell me what comes out of that garbage can. There's no way, right? And that's just a mile. And they're saying things that are trillions of, billions and trillions and thousands of light years, and these numbers are just not fathomable by the human mind, right? But they say, and because when they were talking about, he was trying to school me on spectroscopy, I go, "You need a container." So they didn't think, they're just using it for stupid people, that I said spectroscopy needs a container. No, spectroscopy is the analyzation of gases. Gases need a container. You can't have, hey, if I say, "Guys, come over for a barbecue, but I don't have any propane," bring the propane, but I don't like containers. Don't bring a container. Just bring the propane. Could you do it?
Nope.
Right? So gas needs a container. Spectroscopy is the study of gas. And so spectroscopy needs a container. Well, sorry for that long explanation, but the Globers are just so stupid. They're so stupid.
I mean, it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense. That's kind of the weird thing.
Right. My saying is, you're not stupid. It's stupid, right? When you can't figure out something in flat Earth, in the globe, like, "Oh man, I don't have a degree in that. I don't have a pocket protector with a whole bunch of pens in it." Right? It's because you're not stupid. It's stupid. That's why you can't figure it out.
Yeah. His whole narrative through the entire thing was just being closed-minded and bashing and trying to attack the entire time anyway. Yeah. It was never actually being open-minded and listening and trying to understand any of it.
He's actually just so disgusting. I can't even look at him. It's just so gross. It's so gross. I mean, listen, guys, there's things, there's a physical world we live in, and everything's physical. Everything is physical, right? And then there's the spiritual world, and that's where we have you can be physically intelligent. Okay, that's a TV, that's a couch, that's a rock, that's heavier than that. That's physical intelligence. And you can see somebody when they say, they say something, you can analyze exactly the meaning of the words that they say, and that's more physical intelligence, even though it's not a physical thing. Then there's emotional intelligence. When you look at somebody instantly, you can see their energy, you can see the micro expressions on their face, you can hear the micro tones in their voice, you can hear the words that they use, the spacing in between them, and you're analyzing all of that, and 99.9% of your understanding of them is not from the words. Okay. And a lot of people are lacking that these days, and they just live in this physical material world, is where they want to have us. They want us not believing in spirituality. They want us not believing in anything that's not physical, and that's how they control us. So, if you want to live to your true potential, you have to unplug from the matrix and see the world for what it is.
Absolutely.
I think that speaks to, well, it's two things I want to say. One, I think that speaks to the nature of my grandma and old folks used to say, "I haven't seen you in a while," because they want to see the physical, but there's also to get the energy off you. To see how have you been, like with your spirit. Can I feel if you were behaving all right? Because it's one thing for us to do what we're doing now, but it's another thing to do it in a room with a group of folks. You feel the energy. You can tell the joke is different. Me telling a joke over the phone and me telling it in person, totally different feeling, totally different outcome because of the nature of it.
Right.
And it's that economy, that spirit economy that you talk about. But then also, it's interesting when you talk about the rotation of the Earth. And I always tell people, and I try to explain it to people, it's really crazy to see that you said Earth is spinning at so many miles an hour. But not only that, it's as it's spinning and it's spinning around the sun, it has a rock spinning around it, right? And then all the other planets have rocks spinning around them as they're spinning and doing things, and none of them ever collide.
Never.
Either it's a straight divine.
And how's it all held together? How's it all held together? Gravity, right? Gravity, right? And so, what is the most gravity in our solar system?
Now, was it planet Jupiter or sun?
The sun. Yeah, sun. You got it. So the sun's 186,000 miles across. Okay, that's how big it is, right? And the moon is 400 times smaller than that, right? But they look like they're the same size because the sun happens to be 400 times farther away, just by coincidence, right? And then they line up for these perfect eclipses all the time. Every 18 years, the entire cycle of eclipses repeats itself. I mean, this is just impossible stuff. You know what the three-body problem is? You know what that is? You might have heard of it.
I've heard of three-body problem.
So you can take a supercomputer, the best computers in the world, whatever, and you can model two gravitational bodies. I got a sun, or I got a planet, and I got a moon, or a sun and a planet, whatever. And you put them in orbit, based on their size and weight according to the model, and it will model it perfectly, no problem. It'll tell you where they're going to be in a million years from now, no problem. You add a third body to that, a moon or another planet or whatever. Add a third body to that, it goes into chaos mode, and no computer in the world can figure out what it's going to do next, and it never repeats itself. Okay, but we live in a solar system that hasn't changed. They can't model three problems, but our solar system has like 80 bodies in it. Our galaxy has trillions and trillions and trillions. I mean, these are numbers you can't even fathom right now. I think like in the next week or two or three or somewhere now, all of the planets are going to be in perfect alignment. They're going to be perfect alignment. We should all be dead. Okay, we should all be dead, right? Helium and hydrogen defy gravity on Earth, right? They go up.
Yeah.
Right? But the sun and gas, remember, we have a box of gas. We go into a lower pressure room or a no pressure room and open it up. Instantly, it fills the available space. But somehow gravity holds the Earth down. But helium and hydrogen in space, when you have enough of it, in the words of Monty Python, a lot, okay, it collapses and becomes a burning ball. Okay, and it becomes our sun. Now, our sun is a small star. It's only 186,000 miles across. It burns 640 billion tons of helium and hydrogen. I don't know how you measure that. Every hour, or every minute, or every day, whatever it is, it's a stupid number. You can't even fathom it, right? No one's feeding it again because it's in space. There's no gas hose of helium and hydrogen going to it, but it's been burning for billions of years like that, and it doesn't change. And its gravity is so strong it can hold on to Pluto, which is a distance that you can't even fathom. But when our moon comes around our Earth towards the sun, it doesn't pull the moon faster. And when it goes away, it doesn't slow it down. So the gravity from the sun ignores all of the moons, but holds on to all of the planets. Okay? Am I allowed to say the R word here?
Go for it.
Well, I'll say this for those who are listening. I'm going to say frigging ridiculous, but I mean the other F and the other R word. Okay, it's frigging ridiculous, and that's what they've brainwashed people to believe. And most people don't even know that they believe it. Most people will argue against flat Earth, but they couldn't tell you the diameter, the circumference of the Earth, the distance of the sun, how they figured it out, the size of the sun. They don't know any of this stuff, but they will argue to the death that it's real.
Yeah, because they've been programmed and told their entire life that it's a fact. It's not just an opinion. It is fact. Well, how do I know that it's factual?
So can you speak real quick to one thing that I've always seen, and I've seen it debunked more than anything else, is the fact that when you look out into the ocean, I don't ever see it curve. And I know that you have a lot of facts about how, so for every, however many feet, you'd have to have a certain drop off of inches or whatever that is, and I saw this one video where they were sending this little ship with a flag out, and they had like a telescope, and they were watching the thing. So why is that? To me, that is probably the most prominent thing to make me say this place has got to be flat.
Yeah, well, so things will disappear from the bottom up. often under different conditions for several different reasons. But it's not that we're on a globe, because a globe will look out there and say, that building or that ship, the bottom half is missing. Therefore, the Earth is a globe. But they don't realize that that ship should be 800 feet below the curve. Or, they see half of a mountain. They go, oh, Earth curve, Earth is a ball. But the top of that mountain should be over a mile below the curve, right? Or they see a row of mountains and they say, look, there you go. I can't see the bottom half of those mountains. I don't realize that those mountains should be 50 miles below the curve. Right. So it's hard to do on an audio podcast. And there's lots and lots and lots of video resources that you'll never find on YouTube on my app. I have an app. It's called the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. You can find it at flatearthdave.com. It's a $3 app. Oh, Dave's here. He's just selling his app. That's what people are going to say. But you don't have to get the app. You can just go to the crash course on the website. It's free. And watch those videos, and then you'll want to get the app because you're going to want more information at your fingertips. So when you can look out, let's say you have a perfectly clear conditions, no humidity, the ocean is glassy calm, no waves, right? And you're on a little island, just a little K in the middle of the ocean, and you look out, you're going to see a curved horizon. But I don't mean a curve with a hump. I mean a curve like you have your head in the middle of a hula hoop and you're seeing the edge, because you can only see so far before the sky and the ground appear to merge, right? You guys ever been to Vegas? Right. Like in the Bellagio, the hotel is so long that if you go to one end of the hallway and it's got all the lights in the hallway, that looks like the light at the end of the hallway is touching the floor. That's just perspective, and your mind understands that, right? So you can zoom in with a camera and zoom in and separate them and go, oh, yeah, it's not really touching the floor. And your mind understands how to navigate. That's how we navigate. So when you're out in those perfect conditions, there's a point where the sky will meet the ground and it creates a line. It's a horizontal zone for your eyes, or a horizontal eye zone, or a horizon, right? That's the horizontal. It's not the curve eye zone. It's the horizon. So when you're looking straight forward, we'll call that 12 o'clock. Let's say you can see 10 miles just for a number. It doesn't matter if it's 3 miles, 10 miles, or 100 miles. Okay. When you look at 1 o'clock, how far can you see? If it's 10 miles at 12 o'clock, how far can you see at 1 o'clock? It's the same thing. You're just looking in a slightly different direction. 10 miles.
Right.
At 2 o'clock, 10 miles. 3 o'clock, 10 miles. Right.
Yeah,
so you mark all those points and connect them, and it creates a circle, like a hula hoop around your head. Okay.
Right. And
so you are seeing a circle, but your programming tells you, oh, that's the edge of a sphere, and the sky is just going beyond it, around it, and that's what you see. There is no left to right hump. There is no hump. Earth is flat, testably, measurably, scientifically, provably flat. We can go out on frozen lakes. We can put lights I have one where it's light at 5, 6, 7, and 8 miles. And at 8 miles, it's like 30 feet of curvature. There should be there, but we have these different colored lights on a frozen lake with the camera 6 inches off the ground, and we can see all of them, and they all line up at the same level, right? So you have to believe that each one of them is refracting up at different amounts. I think it's 8 feet, 17 feet, 22 feet, and 30 feet or something like that. But they all are refracting up that amount and stopping at your eye level to trick you to think that the Earth is a globe or flat, or whatever you want to say. Or it's just flat. You're just looking at it. It's flat. It's right there. We can see too far. And then when you have a little wave in the distance, now this is really hard to describe audibly, but when you're looking at something in the distance, so if you're sitting, I'm just trying to think of a good example. I have a picture where I'm standing at the edge of my Long Island Sound, and about a half a mile out, there's an island, right? And then just beyond that, 25 miles farther is New York City, right? But if I took a picture of that and I measured from where the water is at the bottom of the picture to the island, it takes up 98% of the field of the photo. The other 2% is 100 times more distance than that first part. So just how things crunch down, top to bottom, left to right, they also crunch from back to forward. I call it foreshortening, right? So as something's going away, it's getting smaller. Every time you move it another half a mile, it gets that much smaller. Let's say it gets half its size. So the first half mile is a half a mile. Now it's really small. Then the next half mile is tiny, tiny little bit. So it's really in your understandable visual field. it's not getting any farther. It's just getting smaller. And if there's a little wave in there, that wave is going to block half the city. A 2-foot wave can block half of New York City. So,
Wow.
Right.
yeah. So when you start understanding that, in the app on the frequently asked questions page, there's a boats over the horizon section and a we see too far section. The app's worth it just to get to those videos. Again, you can find this stuff free on my website. You can search for it yourself. But, if you try to research flat Earth on your own, and let's say you spend 500 hours, that's a lot. No one spends 500 hours on anything really anymore. You're going to find maybe an hour or 10 minutes of good reusable content, because the Google is working hard to keep you stupid, blind, lost, plugged into the matrix. They don't want you unplugged.
Oh yeah,
right.
We've done plenty of episodes on that. So
they never want.
Yeah.
They're never going to want you to wake up. They're never going to want you to wake up. But I got two questions. One is, do you think at one point people in general believed that or knew that the Earth was flat, knew all these things that you were saying, and then they were reprogrammed to forget all this?
Yeah. So we were told that. Sorry to interrupt. I know where you're going. You want something else to say? I'm sorry. I just excited to give you the answer.
No. If you knew what I was, that's fine.
Yeah. So they say Eratosthenes figured it out 2,000 years ago, and that's a fake made up story. Okay, but I interviewed a woman named Ruth in 2020. She was 102 years old, and I was interviewing her about the World's Fairs. Have you guys looked into that?
No.
Oh boy, we'll go left on that soon, right? We'll take a left-hand turn. And she had gone to the World's Fair in 1918 or whatever it was in New York, and was it 1918 or whatever the year was, and she was so lucid and aware. And I said, "Hey, what did they teach you about the Earth?" Never mentioned flat Earth to her. What did they teach you about Earth in school? And she went to public school in Connecticut, and she said they taught me the Earth was flat. Right. Yep. And she goes, then some years later, they changed it. And, I was like, okay, because the teacher knows best. And, the Rockefellers know the best. They're the ones that took over the school
we were
system.
just talking about that.
Yeah. We don't like them here.
Yeah, nobody does. So she was so thrilled to hear that. And you can find that again. I have a video search on the app because I don't even know where these videos are. There's so many videos now. So you just search 102-year-old woman or maybe Ruth, and it'll show right up. And it was an amazing interview. It was on the spot, not prepared, nothing. It surprised the heck out of me. And then we found that people in the 1950s were still being taught flat Earth here in America, flat Earth and globe Earth, because they didn't know. And then all of a sudden, like 1959, everything changed. The Gleason's map disappeared from libraries, encyclopedias. They stopped talking about it like it never existed, right? And that's where we are today, And it's
right before we went to the moon, supposedly. So
you guys know we didn't go to the moon, right? Please tell me that. Please tell me.
That's another thing.
We went to the moon.
Well, so that's another thing is they keep saying, "Oh, well, we're able to measure this many degrees of this, and we're able to do this." And how are you able to do that? When I don't even think you've ever been to the moon.
Nobody's been to space. The moon isn't a place we can go.
Yeah, well, they claim that the technology was lost. You mean all the technology that we have today for you to track every single person across this entire world and monitor them? But you don't have the technology to go back to the moon. Supposedly?
It's painful. We lost the technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
I'm telling you. we already covered how much money NASA spends.
$75 million a day.
And you don't have the money to go back to the moon?
Yeah, it's so stupid.
I don't have the money to reshoot the scenes.
Right. So in the 1960s and 70s, they sent multiple missions to the moon where they drove dune buggies. They played golf. They were jumping around. They're up and around. There's one scene where the guy's hopping along like a bunny rabbit. He's like hippity hop, hippity hop, hippity hop, hippity hop. Right. But here, like we just had some people that went to Antarctica. And they said when they got there, they were so far away from civilization and the glaciers and everything that they were actually had a sense of fear in them, right? But they knew that they were going to be okay, but they had fear. These guys on the moon don't even know that they can get back because the engine had never been tested on the return rocket. They're jumping around, playing golf, falling and like hanging from. It's so stupid. We'll just
The whole
and there's
thing
so many.
was-
Wait, let me ask you a question. When you guys are in an airplane and you're coming home from wherever you were and you're coming into your home airport, you ever see your house? You ever
No.
look down and see your house? Anybody?
Never.
I mean, I have.
Never.
I have. And when you see your house, you get so excited. You tell the stranger next to you, "Hey, that's my house. Look, this is my house." Right? You're excited. That's my town. Wow, it's cool. Right? Or if you're with somebody that you're so excited. When they were on the moon, they never said the word Earth.
That is.
They never mentioned the word Earth. The camera never once looked at the sun.
And Earth.
They only took one picture of Earth on the last moon mission. They waited to the last one. Maybe we should take a picture of Earth. Okay, maybe, right? And it's so ridiculous. The conversation should have been this, right? And I'll try to keep it clean. I'll just initialize. Should have been, holy F and S. Look, there's the F and Earth. Holy C.
Sure.
Holy, MFR.
We should say, wow.
That should have been the whole thing.
Crazy.
That should have been the whole thing. Every camera shot should have been, look at that. Look at that. Look, here comes America. Here, look at that storm.
Right.
That's all they should have been saying. Nothing else should have been said. They never once mentioned Earth.
I think the whole thing was filmed by the director that made
Stanley
2001:
Kubrick.
Space Odyssey.
Yeah, so he may
Kubrick.
or may not have helped. It makes sense that he did. But there's a whistleblower that this guy Bart Sabrell, who did a funny thing happen on the way to the moon. He's not a flat earther, by the way, but he has clearly proven that the moon is no one's ever been to the moon. But there was a guy that was involved at the military base that filmed the moon landing, and they actually filmed it a year before they aired it. Okay, it was already filmed, and the set was broken down. And he finally told his son when he was on his deathbed, because I guess the people involved, that you sign a contract that basically, if you ever breathe the word of this to anybody, we're gonna skin you from head to toe or whatever. And so he told his son, and his son, made a video, and then and when his son realized, this is later, the guy was old, his son was old, he realized he had terminal cancer or something and he was going to die. So he gave the video to Bart, and somehow they had they knew each other some way. And he said, "You can't air this until I'm dead." Right. And he aired it, and the guy laid out all of the evidence, and it was all there, and there was 15 people that were allowed in that tent. Where they filmed it at Edwards Air Force Base. I'm not sure which base it was, but there's so many whistleblowing stories. If people say, if the Earth was flat, if space was fake, there'd be a whistleblower. If astronauts, one of the astronauts would whistleblow. Well, you're right. More than one has. Have you ever seen it? There's a Russian astronaut that was asked if the Earth's flat in an interview, and he was like so pissed off or tired or something, he told the truth, and he disappeared after that. He just literally disappeared.
Oh,
yeah.
He
He disappeared.
He had a heart attack in his driveway.
We don't need whistleblowers, because we just need to look and think critically. And you guys are I know you from this show right here today, and I could tell that you guys have critical thought. You have common sense. There's so many people that are lost in the sauce, and they can't. They're too plugged in. So congratulations to you guys.
Hey everybody, a quick message that I'd like to share with all of you. Our lives are filled with toxins in our air, food, and even in the information we're taught. Avoiding them all is impossible, but helping your body detox doesn't have to be complicated. That's where Masterpiece comes in. Just 5 drops under your tongue twice a day, and that's it. Super easy, super simple, and it doesn't even taste bad. I've tried countless supplements, and while generally I'm pretty healthy, I didn't really feel much of an effect. But with Masterpiece, it delivered noticeable benefits. Check out the podcast I did with Terry from Masterpiece, linked below this video, or you can find links directly to Masterpiece on my website, flatearthdave.com, or in the shopping section on the app. The key to health is to detoxify. Now back to the show.
Can I say this real quick? It's one thing that sold me on just flat Earth or globe theory is I was sharing with them. I shared the story before. Is I was on my way back from France, right? And I am not a sleeper on planes. I have a thing where I have to be dog tired or take like a Benadryl or something for me to sleep on a plane, because I'll stay up. And I'm up on a 9-hour trip from France, And all of a sudden, I'm looking at the plane, and we're in New York, and I'm looking out the window, and I can see everything in New York, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then I look at my watch, and an hour goes by, and we're just circling. And I'm like, what are we doing? So I'm sitting here. I get so nervous. I'm thinking maybe another 9/11 has happened. They don't tell us. I have no idea. I wake my wife up and say, we've been circling for an hour. We circle for about an hour and a half, and then we go to Atlanta. No problem. And I'm like, what was that about? The flight patterns.
Wait, hold on. That's not a flight pattern. That's something was wrong with the airport. It was overcrowded. There was something on the runway. So your flight was not on schedule because they couldn't fit you in.
We made it on time.
But you went to Atlanta, you said.
Yeah. So, but they said, we was going to Atlanta. The flight was supposed to be, I think, somewhere between 7 to 8 hours, right? And we were ahead.
You got there ahead of time. Interesting.
Yeah, they circled New York for an hour so that we can be in the correct time.
So that's interesting. The pilot didn't say, "Hey, we're ahead of schedule," but airports are so tightly run that if airplanes were late or early, more than a couple of them, the entire system would get thrown out. Planes will be stuck on the tarmac; they can't get to a gate, and it's because it's so packed. So even if you've noticed, whenever you leave your airport, if you're, a lot of time you leave a half hour late, but you get there on time. Sometimes you leave an hour late, you get there on time, right? Because planes go faster than they tell us, right? There's air currents at different levels that go different speeds. At 50,000 feet, or maybe even 45,000 feet, there's like up to 350 mile an hour consistent winds in certain times of the year or days. And they monitor this. So, hey, you're behind schedule. They're going to put you into an air current that's going to get you there on schedule, so the whole system doesn't fall apart. Yeah, absolutely. There's 950 some odd stations, even spread all over the earth, that release weather balloons twice a day at the exact same time every single day. So almost 2,000 weather balloons get released every day. They send their data back. It all goes to a supercomputer and it models all the wind currents, so they know exactly where everything is. And then AI tells the plane where it has to go to get to its place on time.
So do you believe that that if we was on a globe, do you think that
we'd all be dead?
Oh, wait! Explain that. Explain that. Break that down for me.
If we're on a globe,
yeah,
right? How's our air going to be contained? We're dead.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It's spinning off.
It's not even spinning off. It's just into space. It's gone, right? People say, well, gravity's holding the air down and it's a pressure gradient. It just gets thinner and thinner and thinner until and then it's space, right? Bullshit, right? You take a box of air, just room temperature, not even pressurized air. So I get a lucite box and I create it right here and it's completely sealed. So I got air in it, right? Then I go to any altitude where the air pressure is different, and I put a hole anywhere in that box, that left, top, bottom side, doesn't matter what's going to happen. The air is instantly going to depressurize. It's instantly going to go. So let's put a hole in the top. It's instantly going to shoot out the top. So I got the box of ground level air at 100,000 feet. Instantly, violently, it's going to fill the available space. The box will probably explode at 100,000 feet, right? But even here, so down here, I evacuate all the air from this room, and I put a hole on top of the box. Instantly, it's going to go, right?
Right.
They want you to believe that gravity's holding down the air. Wait, so if gravity's holding down the air, how can I take a straw with the so you got the vacuum of space, which is the strongest vacuum we can't even recreate here on Earth. But I could put my mouth around a straw, point it downwards, and I could pull air and liquid up and away from gravity with the weakest low pressure system ever of my mouth and lungs, right? Just a tiny little low pressure system, and air and water is going to move away from gravity where it's the strongest down here. But somehow gravity can hold on to. It's effing ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
One of the other questions I had too, when we were talking about space a minute ago, is I was telling them that I just saw a report, and I don't know how true this is, but they were saying that they just discovered a ginormous black hole that's been dormant or hibernating now for so many thousands of years because it went to sleep because it ate so many other galaxies.
So
now it's fixing to wake up.
Science.
Yeah. So what does that sound like? They're telling you the story of a black bear. right? A black bear ate a whole bunch of food, it slept, and now it's waking up. And that's what your childhood mind is like going, oh yeah, that sounds really believable, because you're connecting it to the story of a black bear, right? First, if I turned off all the lights in this room, every single light, there's not an ounce of light in this room, would you be able to see me?
No.
Of course not. You only see the light. So how the fuck do you see a black hole?
I'm with you.
Okay.
I wanted to get your take on that.
Yeah. Like, so it's the black holes are just pseudoscience nonsense. They go, oh, that's so cool, wormholes, and that's how we get from here to there, right? It's stupid. It's just stupid. And they tell us the gravity, when they talk about gravity, that people don't even know that they changed from Newtonian gravity, which is mass attracting mass, to Einsteinian gravity, which is the bending and warping of space-time. Do you know what the bending and warping of space-time is?
No.
It's fucking retarded, okay? That's what it is, okay? Right? Nobody knows what it is, but that's what they do. I'm sorry. You can bleep that out if you want. All right. Sometimes you just have to use descriptive words. I'm just sorry. I'm sorry. So they tell this is what science tells you. They want their cake and eat it too. They tell us, so you know what electrostatics are? Everything has an electrical charge to it. Everything, your food, the air, everything is electrostatically charged. The ground has a negative or neutral, some people say, charge to it, testable, measurable, provable. The sky is a positive charge. When I lift something up off the ground, it's now surrounded in that positive charge, and there's a flow that goes down. Now, when I drop something, I've got my glasses here, and I drop them, it goes down because it's more dense than the medium around it. Like if I had a handful of rocks and ping pong balls, and I held them over a pool, and I opened my hand, they'd both go down, but the ping pong balls would sit on the top of the water, and the rocks would go to the bottom. That's buoyancy and density sorting everything else out. But the question is, why did they go down and not sideways? Right? Well, everything just goes down, people will say. Well, that's not really good enough for me. But there is a provable of downward flow of electricity. So how can we test this? What can we manipulate to do a scientific experiment? So we can manipulate the electricity. So we can take something and we can put a higher negative charge into it, and it will go up. Right. Well, we do as one example where we have these helium balloons that are left over from a party, and we put a button on the end of them, and we connected it to a Van de Graaff generator, and it's just hovering like 3 inches off the floor. It's just neutrally just hovering there. And so we crank up the Van de Graaff generator to make the positive charge higher in the button. And where are you going? You're zooming away. It's all right. It's all right. I'm commenting on the Zoom for those of you listening. The camera's zooming out. So we crank up the positive charge and it goes down, and we decharge it and it goes up. Do we make it heavier, or do we just change the electrostatics? MIT has a thing called the silent drone, and it looks like a bunch of milk crates tied together, and it flies. And it has no moving parts. It's just changing its electrostatic charge. The XRT-3B, I think it's called, the triangular aircraft, they've released the top secret papers on that, and it lifts and propels itself with electrostatics. Right. So what I'm pointing out is electrostatics isn't a theory. It's a known, disclosed, technology. Some people think, oh, we got that from Roswell. Well, where we got it from, we have it. And science, this is what I'm getting at. Science tells us, the people that want you to believe we live on a globe, that the electrostatic force is stronger than gravity. How much stronger? 10 to the 36 power. I don't even know what that number is. And your mind is not capable of understanding it, right? So let me ask you a question. If I came into that room with you, Trey, we're going to go Trey, and I punched you in the shoulder, just like that, okay?
Right.
You'd say, ouch.
Right.
If I punched you 1,000 times harder, would I break your shoulder? Probably.
Yeah, more than likely. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If I punched you 100,000 times harder, would you die?
You probably Superman punched me at that point. Yeah.
If
absolutely.
I punched you 1,000,000 times harder, would you explode?
Yeah.
Okay. If I punched you 1,000,000,000,000 times harder, you'd be like a nuclear bomb. Who knows? Nobody knows what happened. So that is 10 to the 12th. Okay.
That's crazy.
We got to go 1,000 times that and 1,000 times that. And then we're only halfway to 10 to the 36. Okay. Right. And they say that the electrostatic force is 10 to the 36 power stronger than gravity. Let's pretend gravity is real. I know that this electrostatic force holding that's telling me that the down is down on this buoyancy and density, tell me everything else. If it goes down, why would you ever assume it was gravity? Something that's 10 to the 36 power stronger than something else means that something else is nothing. Right?
Right.
If there was just if things fall at the rate that they fall and we're able to stand and we're able to jump and helium balloons are able to go up and the electrostatic force is involved. So we have to say, well, the gravitational force is 1/10 to the 36 power of that, which means the gravitational force is nothing. It's nothing. If I had a 45-pound barbell and I held it in the air and I let it go and it was just gravity making it go down, it would probably stay there for 1,000,000 years before it ever started going down because it's stupid. It's stupid. You can't figure it out because the numbers are too big. They don't teach us about the law of large numbers. Are you guys into cryptocurrency at all?
Yeah, a little bit.
So you know how wallet addresses are made?
Yeah.
They're random numbers. They're just random numbers, right? So if you had a computer and you can figure out a wallet address of someone else, you could take all their money, right? You can take it all. So they're like, well, let's get some supercomputers and let them start running numbers and checking to see if there's any crypto in them, right? They figure this out. If all of the fastest supercomputers in the world were trying to find one Bitcoin address, it would take 10 to the 6 trillion years, which is something you can't even fathom, for them to find one address of any wallet.
Well, it's just like how they have those the computers that they do the mining with, so you can actually mine other cryptos.
Right. That's a little different, but the point is the numbers are so big that the human mind can't fathom. Right. So let's talk about aliens for a second, and then we'll pivot if you want. The Roswell crash. Okay, let's pretend that's real. I think that something happened in Roswell. Okay, so let's pretend that the aliens that came here came from another star system. And luckily for them, they came from the star that's the closest to our solar system, the closest, because the next one is like multiple times farther. But the closest star to our troller system, it is a troller system if you think about it.
It is a troller system.
Yeah, it is. It is a 4.5 light years away. How far is the light year? It's 4.5 light years is about, rounding off, 25 trillion miles. Hey, that's not big. Trillion is only 12 zeros, right? 25 trillion miles. Let's see if you guys understand what a trillion is. How long is 1 trillion seconds? Just 1 trillion seconds. Answer this. Is the Earth older or younger than 1 trillion seconds? Are you older or younger than 1 trillion seconds?
I got to be younger than 1 trillion seconds.
Yeah.
1 trillion seconds has got to be.
You don't look a day over 1 trillion seconds, dude.
All right. How long?
Why do you guys just take random guesses? No Googling. How long is 1 trillion seconds? Come on. Real quick, just take a stab at it.
Trillion seconds?
Whoever gets it the closest wins something.
4,000 years.
4,000. Not bad. Go ahead, Trey.
I'm gonna go with 6.
6,000 years.
Yeah.
I'll give you a hint. A little closer. You're a little closer.
I was at 8,000.
You're a little closer too. 31,000 years. Okay.
Oh, holy smokes!
So that's a trillion seconds. Yeah. So if we were on a rocket ship and traveling at 1 mile per second, right? No one's ever gone that fast. 1 mile per second. We traveled 1 trillion seconds. We're 1/25th of the way there, and that took us 31,000 years. We got to do that 24 more times to get to the closest star. And so that ship that spent all of that distance and came here, it crashed in Roswell when it finally got here. Doesn't that suck? Right. Right. So if I borrowed a ship from Elon that goes 100,000 miles an hour, unfathomable. It would only take us 28,000 years to get to that star, right? I don't even think the Earth is 28,000 years to be older, if you ask me.
No.
But
no, it's not.
So again, these numbers that they come up with are just to make your mind melt, because they know if you can't process the number, you'll just divert your intelligence to somebody else, somebody that got a degree. right? And how do you get a degree? How do you become a professor or a teacher?
You
Going to school.
go to school and
Go
study
to school,
the system.
study the system.
program.
Wait, so what do you mean study the system? You mean question things or just memorize
No,
and regurgitate?
no. You
memorize.
the program.
Yeah.
You want to be
So-
part of the program. To teach the program, you have to learn the program.
And who makes the program?
The government.
Yeah, the Rockefellers, they took over the school system.
New World Order.
Hey, you said it, so give me a 1 minute. Just try to keep it 1 minute, Dave, because you said it. You may
Impossible.
have seen Trey's face. I know how much you love Elon. So Trey also loves Elon. So give me
Yeah.
a 1 minute breakdown on how much you love Elon, Dave. Because
Trey, take your headphones off while I do this. All right, I don't want to see a grown man cry.
I don't love him. By the way, this is
What
it's a
happened?
running joke on the show about how much Trey loves
Something,
Elon.
I just lost
so-
all sound.
he's
Oh,
awesome.
You guys
you
hear
there?
me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Something happened.
See, it's Elon. I'm telling you, it's Elon.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's got to be Elon.
Right.
Ah,
you-
fuck.
It's got,
Give me a second.
You bring up Elon.
bring up Elon. This is what you get.
You did. Now Dave has to reset his sound. See, this is just more ammunition for me to tell people.
Well, how you know it's just Elon? Because we
It's
didn't
Shoot.
because
Shoot.
we were doing fine.
Hold on. My battery in my headphone just died.
Okay, you're
Um,
good. Let us know when you can hear us again, Dave.
all
We're
right.
talking about how
we
much
did
Trey
mention
loves Elon.
Rockefellers too.
Is there any echo?
No,
No,
you're good.
No, we hear you.
And you can hear this?
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
you.
You can hear this tapping?
yeah,
All right. So, all right.
I don't
We're
hear
going
it.
to go for that.
a couple of times.
So Elon Musk, he's our savior. He freed Twitter, right? The guy, it's an impossible guy. He has a car company. He goes to space. If you got to watch some of my my video podcasts where I break down his rocket flights. He's faking going to space. He's faking going to space. He's faking everything else. Nobody's
I
ever
saw
on
it
his
landing the rocket
rockets.
ship.
It's over. Listen, here's what you do. And this is just the beginning. On my website, flatearthdave.com, scroll down and you're going to see an Elon Musk banner. All right, click it. It's a 5-minute video. Bring your tissues. All right. Bring your tissues because it's over. Elon Musk is a total fraud. Now, the question I go back and forth on, is he in on it or is he just an MK Ultra idiot?
He's in on it.
Maybe.
He's in. I was trying to get them to see a couple episodes ago that I said Elon just hasn't done anything, and I was watching this video and this guy said something, and he said there's some people in life who don't work hard, they just extremely lucky and fortunate, and they just got luck with them, and they get these opportunities, and they just get them right. I look at Elon like that. He didn't create anything. He didn't start anything. He hasn't proven himself. He just buys things that other people have created or started, and then he takes it as his own.
It's
And
all
so
theater.
when they
It's all theater,
Yeah.
Trey. None of it's real.
Yeah.
None of it's
Right.
real.
Right.
None of it's real.
You've made Trey's year
Thank you.
already, so
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
But I
I've been
did send
begging
him the
him.
video on your website because he's just such an Elon.
He won't
lover. I'm
watch
like,
it.
you gotta see
I can tell already he won't watch it. He won't watch it.
I'm gonna watch it now. I may make a whole short film out of it because
Yeah.
until Elon bans me from X, then he will do that. By the
But
way,
you know, but
You don't
listen,
like
God
to
bless
ban
them.
me.
X is the only place that we can freely post stuff these days. So hey, is that really him, or is that just trying to corral us all into one place so they can control us from there? Who knows?
Well, until he finds out that you're saying, if you say anything negative about it, he has banned people's account. They say,
Oh,
Well, let's see what happened to your headphones when I brought up Elon, Dave. So you got to watch out.
yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I'm really
True. I
upset.
did say too. It may not just been Elon because we did mention the Rockefellers too, and the New World Order. So
Yeah.
all
Y'all-
three of those. A trifecta
somebody hit the
there.
button on your headphones.
Yeah.
But before we go, because I know time went away from us really quick. like,
Well,
really
I'll
quick,
go a
but-
few minutes over. Good. What do you want to ask?
Antarctica. We
Yeah,
haven't even really
I
touched
really
on
want-
Antarctica, and I really wanted to dive into
Yeah,
it.
I
Let's
really
go.
want
We
you
go.
to-
We go 10 minutes, 15 minutes more if you want.
You just tell me when you're done, and because I know you got other things to do.
Yeah.
But we really wanted to hit on Antarctica a little bit. I wanted to hear some of your theories on what Antarctica is. Personally, real quick, I think Antarctica is a elitist area that we're just not allowed to go because of resources or whatever. I don't know if that's the staging ground for end of the world or what. I don't know exactly what it is, but that's kind of my running theory, and I just want to hear what you had to say on that.
So there's a weird thing. All the world leaders, they all go to Antarctica, and they go like to one of the bases near the shoreline there, and then they disappear for 2 or 3 days, and they re-show up and they go home, and they never say what they were doing down there. During World War II, I guess. There's the Russians had all these submarines down there. I think there was something like 2,000 Russian submarines defected, and they all went to Antarctica and disappeared. Like, what is going on out there? I think so large bodies of water at rest need containment. You can't have a pond unless the sides of the pond are higher than the water, right? You can have a lake unless the sides of the lake are higher than the water. You can't have oceans unless the sides of the ocean are higher than the water, right? What's the highest continent on Earth by more than double number 2? Antarctica. Antarctica is the shoreline of our world pond. The question is, what's beyond Antarctica? Is it all ice, or are there warmer areas? Are there other areas? And there's been reports, Admiral Byrd and stuff. They said they were flying south, and all of a sudden they saw green pastures and all sorts of stuff. I think that there's other advanced civilizations out on Antarctica or beyond Antarctica. Who knows? There's a book called The Iron Republic, which I recommend people read, but most people don't read these days. So you can just search on YouTube, or you can find it on the app and say The Iron Republic on the channel called The Morgile. And he read it for you, so you can listen to it while you're commuting to work or taking a walk, whatever. And I guarantee if you listen to it for 20 minutes, you're hooked. You're in. It's only like 5.5 hours. And it's a great, great book about a politician out of New York in the late 1800s just got fed up with the system, sold everything, bought a big ship, and was exploring Antarctica. And he found like an inlet. He got sucked into it because there was a heavy current. Then he got popped out into the ocean again, and he was lost at sea for months, a couple months. Then they saw land. They didn't know where they were. The stars didn't line up. And they saw a city, and it was nighttime. So they waited till the morning. And in the morning, a boat came out and greeted them in English. And it said, welcome, and like, hey, we're from America. Where are we? And it's like, well, you're at the Iron Republic. And they go, where's the Iron Republic? And the guy goes, well, it's on the other side of Antarctica, about the same distance as the United States. And they didn't understand that. And he goes, well, we'll take you in, and we'll tell you more. And the guy ended up, there was an advanced civilization living there with advanced everything, just technology, all sorts of stuff. And what it was is those were people that lived here in the 1600s, and they got fed up and they left. They said, this tyranny is bullshit. And they left and started a new world on another continent on the other side of Antarctica. So Antarctica is not a continent at the bottom of a ball, right? You can go on Google. This is something you could do right now. Go on the web version of Google Maps, Google Earth, and take the measuring tool and draw a circle, connect the points all around the United States. It'll tell you how many square miles it is. Try it around Greenland, no problem. Try it around Australia, Madagascar, no problem. Try it around Antarctica, and it flips out. It does an inverse loop. It turns into like a crescent moon. And the same thing at the North Pole. It will not measure it because we don't live on a ball. They morphed the flat Earth around a sphere, and Google Earth can't figure out how to measure it. Pretty wild.
That is cool.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, go ahead.
Did you guys have any questions on Antarctica?
Yeah, Dave, I just think this right here, I think it's really weird. And I was sharing with them earlier before we got on. It's like everywhere in the world, you got to see what's happening with Russia and Ukraine. You see North Korea every year shoots off a rocket. You see China antagonizing Taiwan, and this area, you see America doing its thing. I said, everywhere else in the world, we got turmoil. But when it comes down to Antarctica, all of a sudden, our minds say, don't we agree? We're not going to touch it. That's something that's weird.
So all the countries are fighting for power, land, and resources, right? That's what we fight over. It's all about. But Antarctica, all the countries in the world agree. Nobody can independently explore there. Okay. The other thing they agree on, that everybody must get the pokey poke in their arm. Okay. Everybody must get that. Right. So two things that all these countries all agree on, and these are controlling the human race. Right. I don't know, guys, how you feel about the pokey poke, but the pokey poke is literally, you want to be careful, not be careful.
Right.
You have to stay away from that.
We're not the pokey poke folks. So you're in good shape.
Yeah, good for you.
One thing we all agree on.
And listen, anyone listening, that if there's so many people that did get the pokey poke and they're like, oh shit, now what I do? And they're just like deep down inside, they're like, oh, I wish I didn't do that. I wish I didn't do that. There is a way. It's all about detoxing, especially what's going on in the world right now. They're using frequencies on us and all sorts of stuff to make us agitated, make us not be able to think, all sorts of stuff. And that's because of the stuff that's in your body from the pokey poke and from the spraying of the air and from the foods that they feed us. But there's a way to detox. And there's something, I don't sell this because I'm trying to make money. I'm selling this because it really friggin' works. It's called Masterpiece. You can find it on my website. You can find it on the app. So you just put these drops under your tongue once or twice a day, and it tastes like salt water, and it literally detoxes this crap out of you. And I would never live a day without it. So I highly recommend people do that. You can buy it from my website. It actually doesn't. It's just, you can link to it from my website, or if you know anyone else selling it, just get it. It's amazing. It doesn't matter.
Well, our podcast, I think we're probably about 40-ish episodes in, so we're still fairly new.
Yeah.
We haven't had a chance to touch on frequencies, and you just mentioned that. And now, what is your theory on frequencies?
Well, they've admit that during wars and stuff like the Iraq War, they were shooting frequencies at the other troops to make them go crazy. They do all sorts of stuff, right?
I'm talking about frequencies like in our music and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that too. They changed our music from 432 to 440, and that's a destructive frequency versus the love frequency. Yep. Yeah, so there's so much stuff. There's so much with that. We can't even get into that. I mean, everything has been weaponized. Everything has been weaponized.
Are you excited for RFK because you mentioned the food thing, and that's one thing we've talked about is I was, but I don't know if he's just going to crumble and be part of the system. Probably is. I'm not excited about anything in government. I kind of ignore government because I don't need anyone to govern my mind. Govern the mind is control the mind. Government, right? I don't accept them being over me. I barely allow them to be under me, right? And unless they have a purpose, and they really don't. So there's a lot there. So before we wrap it up. The old world, around 200 years ago, maybe less, there was an advanced civilization worldwide, far more advanced than we are. Okay. We didn't discover America. We didn't found it. We did found it. We found it. We didn't friggin' build it. Right. Right. This building was founded in 1801, but then you look at the history, it's like, what? It's been here for way longer than that. Right. And once you see it, you're going to go out in your own hometown. You're going to look around and go, how did I not see this before? And you're going to literally kick yourself in your ass because it's right in front of you every day, everywhere. The old world is here, and it is mind-blowing. On my app, the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app, I have an old world page. There's a picture of a griffin on it. Click it. It'll bring you to all the greatest videos. But if you don't have the app and you don't want to do that, that's fine. There's the best channel. There's a great video you should start with on my website, flatearthdave.com. You'll see a video. It says Old World Order. It's a big banner. Old World Order. It's a 90-minute video. If you watch it, your life will never be the same. Watch it tonight. Watch Old World Order, and you're gonna just say, "Holy moly cannoli!" Okay, and then there's another channel called My Lunch Break, and I want to tell you, by the way, I just watched his video from this week. 5 minutes. I finished it 5 minutes before the show. It's a mind blower, but. And I've watched, he's like at episode 120, right? You need to watch all of them. So My Lunch Break is on YouTube, Rumble, Rockfin. He's everywhere. Find My Lunch Break. But I'd say start with Old World Order because you need a foundation before you jump in. And you're going to binge watch all 120 episodes. It's going to blow your mind. Okay? Really. So here's one other thing. When years ago, people started saying, everyone would share videos all the time, and Flat Earth is going crazy. And it's, Dave, you got to watch this video. I was like, all right, what is this video? Right? Oh, 5 hours. Get the hell out of here. I'm not watching a 5-hour video. And then someone else sent it to me, and someone else sent it to me, and someone else sent it to me. And like for a week, I'm like, I don't have time for a 5-hour video. And then one night I'm cleaning up. It's around 11 p.m. I said, let me just throw this on while I straighten up my desk. Right. And I put it on. 10 minutes later, I'm not straightening my desk anymore. And the next thing I know, it's 4 a.m. I'm like, holy crap. Wait, this gets worse.
I went and did what I had to do for the day, and then I came home and I watched it again. I watched a 5-hour video twice in 24 hours. It's on the app on the More Resources page. It's called, what the hell is it called? It's called the History of Flat Earth. And it is mind-blowing. I would say start with that, but you can't get people to watch a 5-minute video of what they, of something they're not interested in, something they don't believe. So here, I'm going to give your audience some motivation. You guys like Bitcoin? I offer 3 Bitcoins for 1 globe proof. But this is what you have to do before you submit your globe proof to me. This is real. This is real. You have to either get the app and watch the daily, every day there's a daily video. Just every day while you're having your breakfast, watch the daily video for 2 weeks. At the end of that, if you think you have a glow proof, send it to me, but check the FAQ page first to make sure it hasn't been answered over there, because it probably has. If you don't want to get the app, that's fine. Go to my website, flatearthdave.com. Go to where you see a picture of me right in the middle of the website. It says crash course. Click it. And there's a whole list of videos that Google is hiding from you because you're not mature enough to see them. Right. And watch the first 3 or 5 and then send me your glow proof. But I guarantee you won't, because you'll be a flat earther. Right. So unless you're ready to be ridiculed by your friends and family, don't do anything I said, because you will be a flat earther if you do any of these things.
That's right.
Hey, I say all the time, people, they don't understand me anyway. So I'll dive down there. I'll dive down that rabbit hole.
All right.
So, what were you into before Flat Earth, Dave?
What was I had a commercial solar power development company, by my own company. I'd left. I was in a solar power company. I brought them into the commercial market. Then I left. Well, they actually sold out, and I took 2 other people with me and started my own development company, doing extremely well. I reached my dream. I worked hard in my life. I had my own company. I was making tons of money, had lots of free time, and then I realized that the world is going to hell, and if people don't wake up, we're going to be there. So I resigned. I walked away from it because my truth journey was interfering with business too. And, and one of my partners was freaking out because he's just a normie, which is great. Greatest thing that ever happened to me. I walked away from everything. And here I am talking to you guys, because this is what matters. What difference does Flat Earth make? I still have to go to work on Monday. I'm in Mexico, guys, for the whole winter. I don't have to go to work on Monday. Okay. Right. And it's just because this world is so much more than they want, that they're hiding it from us. So if you want to live to your true potential, you can't do it plugged into a friggin' machine, into the matrix. I mean, and once you see it, and there's a lot of demons trying to stop you. They're making up stuff. You're going to hear the trolls are going to show up on this video. By the way, this video is going to get more views than all of your other videos combined, probably. Right. But the trolls are going to show up and go, Dave's a grifter. His app uses globe math to locate, things. And they're going to say all this stuff. They're going to say flat earth has been disproven because the sun movement in the sky doesn't do what the flat earth thinks. Right. The sun in the sky. Wait, the helium ball and hydrogen in the space vacuum that holds on to Pluto, that thing that you're making up stories about, the movement of its movement makes a difference of the shape of the floor that we just measured, right? Get the hell out of here, right? Get out of here. But they're going to say this, but what I tell you to do is the ones that are commenting on everyone's comment and just going everywhere, look at their channel, because I call those the comprehensive globe proof channels, because they have all of the globe proofs on them. And what I mean by that, they're completely empty channels. There's nothing on them. They're just bots or lazy trolls.
Yeah.
So there you go. Well, welcome to the shitstorm, boys. It's coming when you wear it.
We appreciate you. Thank you.
I'm hoping you'll come back on with us, because this is.
I will. You guys are great. I'll do another show with you. In the very near future if you want.
But
let's get this one up. Send me a link when this goes live. When are you putting this up? Soon?
It'll be up Monday.
Beautiful. Send me a YouTube link, and I'll share it on the app. I have an interview section on the app. It'll be right on the top.
Sounds great, man. I really appreciate you coming on with us.
All right, guys. Thanks. It's good to talk to guys that actually have friggin' brains that can think, because you're a rare breed. You're a rare breed.
We appreciate that. We
appreciate you, Dave.
Right,
we'll talk to you soon.
Peace.
Thanks.
See ya. Bye. Hey, everyone. If you enjoyed this interview, please help support my work and help wake up others by referring or gifting the app to at least one person today. By doing that, you're going to help wake people up and help me to continue doing other interviews like this. With the censorship out there that's going on, it's very difficult to find relevant information. And the app, as you know, brings people to the truthful information of our world. So Help support my work, help support your efforts in waking up friends, family, and strangers. Gift them the app or just recommend the app. And let's make 2025 the year Flat Earth breaks free. Check the links below for information on how to gift the app or just refer the app to others and use your referral code to earn Dome cryptocurrency and a free subscription. Thanks.